At times the bidding process is not tight enough to ensure that at the end of the day you are in a better position to use the right people with the right competencies that are required at various levels of our service delivery for human settlements purposes. That needs to be tightened. It's not in all instances, but it's a fact that some of the people that have been involved in the construction industry, which is a very sensitive industry with a lot of compliance issues that needs to be dealt with, have tried to take corners. If you do that at that level, then you are able to overcome and deal with the challenges that might occur later if that process is not well managed. The other issue is to make sure that we have quite a number of regulatory institutions that exist within our sector. The key one is NHBRC, which is responsible for the regulation of all projects. We have taken some measures in terms of ensuring that there mustn't be any new project within human settlements that must take place in any part of our country without ensuring that it's enrolled with the NHBRC. In the same breath, we have also taken a measure of ensuring that NHBRC as a regulatory body empowered by the Act to perform this particular exercise is also fully capacitated. But beyond that, we have also made sure that the people who are responsible for the current situation are also taken into task. I'm referring now to contractors that have been responsible for the shoddy workmanship that we have witnessed. They must be blacklisted, and where possible, we must be able to recoup the funds that have been used, because these are the taxpayers' monies. We have since, as the department, established a fully fledged branch called Project Management Unit, which will be located at national level and work in collaboration with provincial departments of human settlements.
When were these measures implemented? Because just looking at an article from about 6 days ago, it still seems that there are some cracks within the NHBRC.
There will be no new project that must be enrolled, that must be in place without being enrolled with NHBRC, as a measure to make sure that in the future NHBRC will do its role. Because if you don't enroll a project, NHBRC may not be on board with you, so they can't do their work as empowered by the Act. We have taken that decision. It's being implemented. In the event something is not being done in the manner in which we have agreed, obviously the necessary steps must be taken to make sure that we force people to do that, because if we do that, we'll be sitting with a bigger problem in the future. So the measures we have put in place, the implementation of those decisions and measures, is non-negotiable. In the event that happens, we'll have to intervene as a department and accordingly do what needs to be done. So those measures are already in place as of this financial year.
Now I'd like to revisit the possibility of a state-owned company. We know that Minister Tokyo Sehwala has spoken and saying that he would like to implement that. We know that it has worked in Brazil, but is it viable in South Africa, and could we possibly see this happening?
Now, you don't want to be dogmatic in your approach. Any approach that could assist the state to enhance its backlog, to deal effectively with its backlog, and to make sure that it's done in a cost-effective way and quality is not compromised, that approach must be basically be debated. So this is one area where the minister is saying, why don't we debate that possibility? It's open for debate, it's open for dialogue. It has worked in other countries. We have mentioned Brazil. It's not only Brazil. Many other countries are using the same, where the state itself gets directly involved with this industry because of its nature, because of its sensitivity. And also remember that this is one sector that plays a very important role in the economy of your country.
Could the private sector possibly not be losing out on profits? Will this not squeeze them out of an already depressed construction sector?
Private sector is part of government, is part of the same responsibility. If the public institution begins to take an initiative of this nature, it's a simple exercise, getting into partnerships. We also have at our disposal public-private partnerships arrangements with the private sector in the same industry, in the same sector. So if this comes on board, for me it will not be a new thing. In any event, the government is involved with private sector on a number of other initiatives in a public-private arrangement. So a similar approach can be adopted.
Now, Mr. Zulu, what would you like to see come from these past 2 days? I know that you've highlighted certain things, for example, developing and sharpening research and development and redefining the role and mandate of the EAAB. So where to from here?
The most important thing that must emerge from this summit is to make sure that we put in place measures that will stabilize the sector. Initiatives have been taken already by the minister by appointing the administrator, but we need to go beyond that. And people who are involved in the sector must regain confidence that they require to perform in a very important sector such as this.